We'll start the discussion with ethics for management accountant. So what are the ethical standards that Institute of Management Accountant expect from us? This is which we will study. Then we'll see what is the corporate ethics and what are the legislation already has been formed related to the ethics, corporate responsibility for ethical behaviors. And then we will see what is fraud and the fraud risk model, fraud triangle we will discuss. Then in the last we'll see what is the fraud and error and how to address it. And in the last we'll see about risk management. So we'll start with IMA, Statement of Ethical Professional Standards. For us it's nothing new because when we were small our parents teach us you have to be fair, you have to be honest, you have to be disciplined, you have to maintain confidentiality. So in terms of ethics this is already most of the human beings knows, but in order to get it aligned in a proper set of ethics we are studying this. So he says that every IMA member should be honest, fair. When we say honest means you should not take money, bribes and change your opinion for certain matters. Fairness, you should be fair in your mental attitude. There should not be racism based on color, skin, gender. Any kind of discrimination will violate the fairness. Objectivity is, there are two words. One is subjectivity. If I say something is going to happen and you ask me how you feel, I will say these are my feelings. So feelings are subjective. It may be right and it may be wrong. So we follow on objectivity. That means that we have rational facts and figure to express our opinion. So profession asks for an objectivity of information and responsibility. These are four characteristics. Then we have four standards like competence, confidentiality, integrity and credibility. What is competence? That whatever we do the work, we should have required knowledge, skills and abilities for it. So far it is not mentioned in the code that you are CMA qualified, then you will be competent. There is nothing like this. You can be a competent person if you have a required knowledge, skills and abilities to perform your job. Then we have confidentiality. It means we have access because we are management accountants, so we have sensitive information. We know that management is in trouble, management is going up, down, these kind of things are in our knowledge, so that comes in the confidentiality. We have to maintain their confidentiality. Integrity is in our character. We don't sell our opinion, we are fair, we are genuine. And credibility is that people can trust your reports, your judgments, your words. You have keep yourself clean and you get the confidence of the market that you are a reliable and trustable person. That will create your credibility. So this is four principles, these are four standards. Then in a final section he says the resolution of ethical conflict is especially significant. So suppose if you join a company tomorrow and you find that this company is involved in unethical practices. So what IMA suggests how to handle these kind of cases. So because I am new in the company, I don't know anyone. So first I will go to my supervisor and I will ask him, this is my observation and I am not satisfied ethically, morally or emotionally. So they will try to give you the answer and justification. If it does not still goes in your head and you are still confused, then you will try a different level of hierarchy, and if it does not work then you will go to a legal advisor that what is your position in this unethical situation. And in extreme cases we can choose to resign from our job if we feel that the employer is really involved in unethical activities. So this is what is the resolution procedure that an IMA member has to adopt. he says member of IMA shall behave ethically. We should commit ourselves for professional practice. For that, as we just studied, we should be honest, fair, objective, and have a responsibility. Membership should act in accordance with these principles and shall encourage others within the organization. So it's not only we are following this one, in fact we are encouraging others for following these standards also. So a member's failures to comply with the following standard may result in disciplinary action, means that IMA can start investigating on the conduct of the IMA member if there is a violation. So now one by one we will read that. I explained you already competency, confidentiality. Each slide will explain everything. He says, maintain a professional expertise through knowledge, experience, expertise, through research, through education. This is what is you have to do. So you should have required knowledge and skills, perform professional duties in accordance with law, regulation and ethical standards or prevalent standards that has been given. For example, if we work in banking, so there is a banking law and practices. We should know banking law and practices, that how to explain the investment, how to deal with customers, how to deal with money laundering. This is all we should know the relevant laws and regulations. Provide decision support information and recommendations that are accurate, clear, concise and timely. So information should be accurate, means we can rely on. It should be clearly expressed. Concise means it should be condensed in an appropriate size, neither too long and neither too short. And timely means that it should be, or it should come when it is required, because any report will come after when the event will finish, so that will not be having a significant relevance. Recognize and communicate professional limitations and other constraints that would preclude responsible judgment or a successful performance and activities. So you should know your professional limitations. If we are not capable to perform a certain task, so we should report it to the ones who are assigning this task in order to define our limitations of the profession. Okay, then it moves to confidentiality. It's our job to keep things confidential. For example, now there are two things if some organization is doing, so we don't need to wait for, we have to report to the authorities. One is if someone is involved in terrorism financing, so we don't need to wait here and there, we have to inform the regulatory body. And someone is involved in money laundering, so these two are the one that we have to jump to tell to the regulators. But other than that, if until the court does not ask from us, we will keep the things confidential about the client. And the third thing is when the client is doing something which is not in the public interest, means they are mixing some chemical in the milk which is not hygienic for the users. So this is what we have to come out and break the silence. But in general, all other confidentiality matters, we have to keep it with us until the court does not ask us to do for it, right? So this is what it says, keep information confidential except the disclosure is authorized or legally required. Means client is happy to disclose, right? Some people, they will have a plastic surgery, for example. Now clinic would like to give them a feedback, because they have a successful surgery. This will help them to get new customers, right? So they will ask from the customer, are you willing us to expose you that you have this treatment? If a client say yes, then go ahead, right? This is legally you have taken the permission and you can, use as per the agreement and understanding.